So our loss in the Friday Shuffle afternoon news dump. Vikings linebacker Eric Wilson signed his second-round restricted free agent tender. What does it mean for EUE as he heads into his fourth season? So let's talk about it today. A little bit of background. Eric Wilson, number 50 in your program, numero uno in your heart. 6'1", 230-pound linebacker, 25 years old, turns 26 in September. Was a former three-star safety recruit coming out of Redford, Michigan, committed to Northwestern and redshirted his freshman year 2012. He was also freshman teammates with Afadio Denebo the first year in Evanston, so hashtag chemistry. Transferred to Cincinnati, sat out 2013 to NCAA rules, which is still stupid, but yeah. Ended up being basically a 2-year starter for the Bearcats, also teammates with Mike Boone. Chemistry. Senior season 2016, 129 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. And despite putting up awesome numbers at his pro day, he actually ran a 4.4 840. I don't know why I listed this as slower, but whatever. Very impressive in the agility explosion drills as well as the bench. Plus 39.5-inch vert. Like, are you absolutely serious here? Yeah, so Wilson, I mean, he went undrafted despite being projected as a late day 3 pick. Super highly productive college player as well as did well in all the testing. So I think the Vikings just really found a gem as a UDFA. Eventually made onto the 2017 53-man roster, beating out incumbent special teams linebacker Edmund Robinson, who had been a 7th-round pick out of Newberry a couple years previously. So he joined fellow rookie and 4th-round pick Ben Gedeon on the roster. Great. Wilson excelled on special teams as Rook 2017, playing 338 special team snaps and recording 8 tackles as well as a forced fumble. Continued to be a special teams dynamo each of the past 2 seasons, but also has worked in quite a bit on defense and really pretty much overtaken his 2017 rookie brethren Ben Gedeon. 2018, he started 4 total games, 2 in place of Anthony Barr in the middle of the season as strong side linebacker, 2 in place of Eric Kendricks finishing out the year. 2019, he took over that weak side linebacker starting job, which we say starting job because you do play a handful of snaps, but I mean nickel is the new base. Barr and Kendricks are 2 of the best 3-down linebackers in the game, so it's a paper title, but Eric Wilson is certainly working into that defense. He recorded 63 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and had a career high 3 sacks. Where I believe that Eric Wilson's pass rushing prowess really underrated, and it's something that they should look to incorporate more in 2020. Wilson, since he was an undrafted free agent, those are 3-year contracts with the restricted free agent deal on the end. Vikings decided to slap the second-round tender on him, paying $3.259 million. Now they could have gone original round tender, but if a team had signed him to an offer sheet, and then the Vikings would have got 0 compensation. So I mean, the Vikings typically use a second-round tender. They've used it on Thielen. They've used it on Anthony Harris. It's enough of a deterrent to keep teams away, but also if a team is really adamant about signing them, the Vikings get some decent compensation if they do. If another team does offer them a better deal and they decide not to match. So obviously the Vikings like Wilson. They want to keep him in the sphere, and as much credit as Adam Zimmer does deserve, by the way, for Kendricks and Barr, he deserves a lot for Wilson as well, because you're taking this UDFA former safety prospect and you're really molding him into something really special on defense and especially on special teams, because he's got really nice speed, he's got great coverage skills, something that you would expect from a converted safety. But also, I mean, the problem is that he's stuck behind Kendricks, and I think there's so much talent overlap between them. Like, I think Eric Wilson, if he was able to play Kendricks' role, would be phenomenal. I think middle linebacker is his natural spot. And also, he doesn't necessarily have the size or the strength to step into the Sam linebacker role, as we saw when he filled in for Barr in 2018. Also, that was the big question when Anthony Barr looked like he was going to sign with the Jets, is that it was a 2-linebacker draft. 2019, Devin Bush, Devin White, the 2 Devins. So was Eric Wilson going to step in for Anthony Barr full-time last year? It would have been tough. Eric Wilson, super stud, awesome, has a lot of talent, but not necessarily what the Vikings would look for in overlap with Anthony Barr. But frankly, it was great that Barr came back. And with Barr and Kendricks entrenched as the Vikings' 2 3-down linebackers, I don't expect too much room for growth for Wilson, although if the Vikings are going to move to a hybrid or more of a 3-4 front, I think that does open up a ton of opportunity for Eric Wilson. Let him build on his career high 445 defensive snaps last season. Plus, I think Eric Wilson is a natural pick if they wanted to name a special teams captain again this year, where J-Ron Curse was a bit of a surprise pick as a special teams captain last year. Frankly, it should have been Wilson last year as well, but if they go that route, I think it makes a lot of sense to slap the C on number 50. And even though the Vikings, they did draft basically his tailor-made replacement in fourth-round pick Troy Dye from Oregon. I mean, they're very similar players, but I think it's really important that the Vikings kept him, and it's clear that they see him as part of their at least short-term plans. Now, is it going to be part of the long-term plans? That's a little bit TBD because you're paying Barr and Kendricks top dollar, plus they're still young and in their prime. Troy Dye is coming on up. I think Gideon is sort of, whatever, he's going to be gone. But, I mean, Eric Wilson is one of my favorite heart and hustle type players, and I love when he came in as a UDFA. Just every time he's on the field, something good happens, and if he really does tee it up and has a really great year 4, I think he could play himself into a nice payday. But is that going to be here? It's tough. It's going to be tough. It's a very crowded linebacker room. That's a credit to Mike Zimmer, Adam Zimmer, and Rick Spielman as well. But your thoughts, Eric Wilson, RFA? Sign up. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, pull us on the Venmo. Plus, give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol, production value.